What's up, y'all? It's Pokey Professor Will here, and today we're back here at John Stiff Skatepark here in my hometown. It's been a long time since I've been out here on the Insta360, but for the past week I've been coming up here and messing around on the Arc Frames. So we're gonna do some wizardish kind of skating up here, as opposed to skating on the aggressive skates, as in the former round up here at the skate park. So, but these Arc Frames, I haven't gotten too much use out of them. I've probably skated on them 10 or so times before this week total. Since I've been on a break from school / work, well, really work at the school, I've been able to come up here a little bit more. So, woo. Woo. Oh. Woo. But I've been having a lot of fun on these wizard frames, or really the endless Arc Frames. They're for wizard type skating. Wizard is a brand, so I shouldn't say wizard frames. But whew. Whew. But yeah, the first time I came out here, first couple times, I bought a pair of UFR APs with some Caltech V2 frames. The first pair of UFRs that I had were size 44, so they were a little bit too large for me. But I was using the 280 millimeter frame, which was a flat 4x60 frame. And man, the aggressive frames are just so non-maneuverable because of the flat. I highly prefer rockered frames. And so it's kind of hard for me to skate on the aggressive skates, honestly. So if you do wizard skating and you know anything about it, most people will wizard skate on a UFS boot. I'm actually on a FR1 boot right now with a 165 millimeter mount Arc frame. So I'm not really using the traditional wizard skating setup. Whew. But this has been a lot of fun. Whew. Whew. So my second pair of UFRs, which I still have, they're the right size. They're size 40. And I did downsize the frame as well from the 280-ish millimeter Caltech V2 to the 260 millimeter Caltech V2. And they still feel like skis compared to a rocker frame like the Arc or the Arc CS or the Endless 90s, which I am usually skating on. So, whew. But this is probably my favorite area of the park. This little section right here. Whew. I get to go up the hill, come back down, and do something up this little micro hill. Let's try that back 360 again. I don't know, it's kind of sketchy. That one was. All right, we're gonna get that. All right. So, just as of this week, I learned how to go down this hill fakie. I just dropped my right leg like that. Woo. All right. We're gonna get it. Whew. I have the butt pads on, so that fall wasn't too bad. It'd be smarter of me to have a helmet on, but it's really cold right now. Let's try that again. A little bit better. Well, way better than the bus, right? One more time. That one was a little better. I felt better on that one. There we go. Satisfied. All right. Whew. And this thing is fun. I don't know what this is called. Woo. Hit the little hip. Woo. So these frames, the Arc frames, these are the longest frames that I have. They have a 316 millimeter wheelbase, and I'm riding them with 84 millimeter outer wheels. So the effective ride, or the effective frame length total, is 400 millimeters. And that's, whew, I was thinking about 180 and that wussed out. The hardest part for me, going from like the Endless 90 or the Arc CS, the shorter version of this frame, to this frame, is the length of the Arc, which I've gotten a lot better about it, skating on it over the past week. But particularly when I do backwards crossovers, sometimes my wheels will clip, and if they do, could lead to, I have fallen a few times doing that, and it's not fun. So, all right, let's hit this box. There we go. But I want to get better at wizard skating, so I'm trying to get used to these frames. And honestly, I don't know how much aggressive skating I'm going to be doing in the future, because I'm not a youngin'. I'm 33 years old, and aggressive skating is kind of risky, especially beginning aggressive skating. Let me switch over to the tripod. Bear with me real quick. So I gotta watch these backwards crossovers. So that's where I tend to mess up with these frames the most and clip my wheels. Like I said, I think skating on them over the week, I've just kind of gotten over that better. Hopefully I don't jinx myself there, but. Whew. Get those lines in, those cheated lines. So wizard skating, I bought these frames over a year ago, just about a year ago or so. And they're probably my least skated frames out of all my arsenal, unfortunately. I wanted to get into wizard skating, and I knew that these frames were a really good choice to do that with. Of course, you have rocking frames, Roca, Wizard, as well as Endless. Trying to think, NN, that's the other big one. And they all make these rockered 5-wheel frames, or rockered big 4-wheel frames that are good for wizard skating. I'm trying to, Endless, they had a sale last year. I think it was like 15% off or something, but I ended up getting the Arc and Mercury finish for a little bit cheaper than normal, and I've kind of held on to it until lately. So, but ever since I've seen wizard skating videos, I've wanted to take part in it. I've just kind of been preoccupied with the Arc CS frame and the Endless 90, doing kind of more figure skating-ish stuffs. So, but with wizard skating, there's a few basic moves. There's 8 variations of 2 moves, and that would be the Gazelle and the Lion. So there's a Gazelle, which is a 2-footed, and I can't really do them. I'll attempt to do one. It's a 2-footed 3-turn. So a Gazelle is a 2-footed 3-turn. Let's see. I don't even know which way to go into this. Something like that. That's not the best. And then a Lion would be a 1-footed 3-turn. So, and I can kind of do those. I'm cheating them slightly. With the Arc frame, I can kind of get that 3-turn in a little bit better than some of the other frames, like the Endless 90. Whew. Whew. So Lion, 1 foot, Gazelle, 2 foot. There is a closed and an open variety of those. So if my hips are facing out from the turn, if I'm coming in a turn like this, and my hips are faced outward, then that's in the open position. I'd be ready to do an open Gazelle, right? Front open Gazelle, right? Front open Gazelle specifically there. If my hips were faced to the outside, which I don't think that was a very good pose. Let me see if we can come back around again. It's kind of weird because your other foot is leading the non-natural turning foot. But that would be the closed stance. There's a front and a back version of each of those, right? So you can come in backwards, and that's or you can come in forwards, right? So front, back. And then there's also left, where the turn makes a counterclockwise turn. So if I'm coming in like this, this would be a left turn. And if I was going in a clockwise rotation, that would be a right. So total there between all of the types of Gazelles and Lions, there's 16, right? Because there's either a Gazelle or a Lion. It can either be front or back. It can be open or closed, and it can come from the left or right direction. So 2 up to the 4th power is 16 variations of those. And those are the moves that I really want to start focusing on a lot more over the next few months or so, you know, however long it takes me to get those. But I'm pretty determined to kind of get those at that point. That wasn't a bad back Gazelle. Let's see if we can do that again. We got work to do, right? But those are probably that's the 16 basic wizard skating moves, and I have a lot to work to do on them. Also, some other popular moves, right? The toe press, which this is not a toe press, this is more of a toe manual. I can do those pretty easily. The toe press is where they're together, and that's a lot harder than having the toes staggered. So, got to work on those. And then there's heel presses, of course, which would be on the heels. Let's see. That's something really good about these frames. If you notice, I almost fell backwards, but these frames are so long that it's pretty hard to fall forwards and backwards on them. But like I said earlier, with crossovers and tight maneuvers, you got to watch for the wheel clip and the frame clips, because if you pull against that and you're stuck, it's, I mean, I basically always fall that way. But, whew. All right, let's try a couple more Gazelles and Lions and just see what we got. There's something. I've been watching Billy Arlew for tips on these. He's got a website, and I'll link it in the description below. But I've been doing a lot of studying on his maneuvers. Hopefully, I can get them one day. All right. I feel like I got the swiveliness, the kind of the flow for wizard skating. I just haven't gotten those specific moves down. So, but it's always a work in progress. So we'll never be perfect at any of the types of skating. So, there we go. If you haven't joined the Discord, there's a Discord, Inline Skate Space, and it's for inline skaters of all types to hang out and learn from each other. But I'll leave the link down in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear them. But other than that, I hope you enjoy your week. If you're getting back in school, have a good semester, and we will see you guys later. Peace.